Let's get the simple reasons out of the way first for why your car's heater is blowing cold air instead of that cozy warmth. Then we'll move up to the bigger offenders and how to diagnose each culprit preventing hot air from heater. When your car's heater starts blowing cold air, coolant system troubles like a low fluid level, leaky hoses, or a failing water pump can impair the heat transfer needed to warm the cabin. Then, a stuck-open thermostat halts the engine from building up temperature to feed the heater core. Speaking of the heater core, it can get gunked up over time, restricting airflow. Next, jam blend door actuator prevents hot air from reaching the vents. Older cars may suffer from a faulty heater control valve that blocks coolant flow. Air pockets in the cooling system create insulating bubbles that hinder heat transfer. And lastly, a malfunctioning heater fan fails to exchange coolant heat, which leaves you with merely lukewarm cabin breezes instead of a hot blast. Now, let's discuss each cause in detail. Number 1, low coolant level. The coolant, a mixture of antifreeze and water, is responsible for transferring heat from the engine to the heater core, which then circulates warm air into the cabin. If the coolant level is too low, air pockets can form, preventing the proper transfer of heat and causing the heater to blow cold air. If you notice a recurring coolant depletion, it could indicate a leak somewhere in the system, which requires further investigation. Coolant leaks can be caused by a variety of issues, such as a cracked radiator hose, cracked thermostat housing, a faulty water pump, or even a leaking head gasket. Number 2, stuck thermostat. The thermostat regulates the engine's temperature by controlling the flow of coolant. When the engine is cold, the thermostat remains closed and prevents coolant from circulating through the engine until it reaches its optimal operating temperature. Once the engine warms up, the thermostat opens and allows the coolant to flow and transfer heat to the heater core and radiator. If the thermostat gets stuck in the open position, it can prevent the engine from reaching its optimal operating temperature, resulting in cool air blowing from the heater. This is because the coolant won't get hot enough to effectively transfer heat to the heater core. This specifically happens when you just started the engine. Number 3, clogged heater core. The heater core is essentially a small radiator responsible for transferring heat from the coolant to the air that circulates inside your car's cabin. It's typically located behind the dashboard. Over time, the heater core is clogged with debris, rust, or scale buildup, which restricts the flow of coolant and prevents proper heat transfer. Number 4, jam blend door. The blend door is essentially a flap or valve that controls the flow of hot or cold air into the cabin. It works in tandem with the heater core and the air conditioning system to provide the desired temperature and air distribution. If the blend door gets jammed or stuck in the wrong position, it can prevent warm air from reaching the vents, even if the heater core is functioning correctly. This can happen due to a variety of reasons, such as a broken actuator motor, a damaged linkage, or worn-out gears in the actuator. Also, chances are that the blend door is not properly recalibrated, which is preventing the heater from blowing hot air. Modern vehicles with climate controls have electrical blend door actuators, and old vehicles with manual AC have either vacuum-operated or cable-operated blend door actuators. Number 5, faulty heater control valve. It also prevents hot air from heater core. Some older vehicles have heater control that prevents coolant from flowing through it all the time. You can locate this valve along the hose of heater core that is connected to the thermostat. Number 6, air bubbles in cooling system. Air bubbles in the cooling system can prevent the proper circulation of coolant, leading to insufficient heat transfer to the heater core and cold air blowing from the vents. Air bubbles in the cooling system can often occur after a coolant flush or top up, as air can become trapped in the system during the process. This can disrupt the flow of coolant and create pockets of air that insulate against heat transfer. Number 7, malfunctioning heater fan. If air from the vents is warm but not hot, it could be a malfunctioning heater fan. The heater core fan blows air over its fins, which exchanges with the hot coolant flowing through its tubes. If fan does not blow air, you may feel a warm air from heater instead of a hot air. When vehicle moves, the ambient air flows over heater core, but it has not enough speed compared to air from heater fan. As a result, heat from coolant is not properly exchanged. Let's discuss how to diagnose each cause responsible for cold air from heater. Diagnosing low coolant level and coolant leaks. To check your coolant level, you'll need to locate the coolant reservoir or overflow tank, which is usually a translucent plastic container with markings indicating the minimum and maximum levels. If the level is indeed low, top it up with the recommended coolant type. Typically, coolant is a 50/50 mix of antifreeze and water. For coolant leaks, check cracked radiator hose, cracked thermostat housing, a faulty water pump, and a damaged head gasket. The water pump is located on the front of the engine. It has a seal around the shaft which, if wear out, can result in coolant leakage through weep hole. Moreover, if the bearing of water pump is damaged, it will cause it to wobble, which will damage the seals and result in coolant leakage. When coolant leaks through head gasket, it mixes with the oil and burn in the engine. In that case, you will observe white smoke from exhaust. If you open the radiator cap, you'll see a brownish milky texture. Diagnosing a stuck thermostat. To diagnose a stuck thermostat, put the hands on the upper radiator hose as hot coolant from engine flows through it. If the thermostat is stuck open or leaking, the radiator hose will quickly get hot. Diagnosing a clogged heater core. If heater core is clogged, you may have sweet maple syrup-like smell emanating from the vents when the heater is turned on. This distinctive odor is caused by the built-up gunk and contaminants in the heater core burning off when the coolant passes through. Additionally, foggy windows are a clear indication that the heater core is bad. This happens because corrosion inside heater core create weak spots that cause minor coolant leaks. When coolant mixes with air inside the cabin, it causes fogging. You can flush the heater core with water by disconnecting one of the heater core hoses and using garden hose. You can also try blowing compressed air through the heater core to clear any remaining blockages. You can also use an infrared thermometer or a scan tool to check the temperature of the coolant entering and exiting the heater core. A significant temperature drop between the inlet and outlet can indicate a clogged heater core. Diagnosing a jammed blend door actuator. If blend door actuator is bad, you may hear tapping, a faint clicking or droning sound underneath the dashboard. You should also ensure that blend door actuator is receiving power by checking fuses, wiring, and voltage at the actuator connector. Diagnosing air pockets in the cooling system. If your engine temperature is also increasing, the chances are that cooling system has bubbles as coolant can't even flow properly through the engine to exchange heat. To bleed air from the cooling system, first remove the radiator or overflow tank cap when the engine is cold. Start the engine, turn the heater to hot, and let it idle until the coolant circulates. Then loosen the bleed screw or squeeze the radiator hose until coolant flows out without bubbles. Keep topping up the coolant until the level stays stable. Run the engine at higher RPMs for 10 minutes to fully circulate the coolant. Finally, allow it to cool and recheck the coolant level. Diagnosing a malfunctioning heater fan. You may turn the blower by hand to check for dragging or seizing. You may also perform a bench test by connecting 12V positive wire to the fan and see if it spins right. Let me know in the comments if you've dealt with the problem of the heater not blowing hot air. If you want to dive deeper into diagnosing car heater problems, check the link down below in video description where I have linked a handy guide. Be sure to like and subscribe to AutoCornered for more auto repair tips. Thanks for watching.